Fiber fusion carbon fiber plate reinforces cracking and bowing foundation walls. Begin by using our spacing chart to measure and mark installation locations for fiber fusion. Leave a maximum of 2 feet of space between the first plate and the corner of the walls, and a maximum of 4 feet between plates. Measure the height of the wall and cut out the plates with up to 1 inch of space between the top wall and bottom floor. Use a grinder where you plan on installing each carbon fiber plate. Remove paint and dirt and level uneven surfaces. Combine and mix the plate epoxy part A and part B until it is a consistent gray color. Apply the epoxy to one side of the cutout carbon fiber plate. Pat it with a consistent thickness of around 1/8 of an inch using a spackle knife. Spread a layer of epoxy on the wall with about the same width as the plate and same thickness spread as on the plate. Apply the plate to one end and progress to the other by pressing it into place and removing all air voids. Now that fiber fusion is installed, you can clean up the plate. Scrape off any excess epoxy on the sides of the plate. Use a solvent such as acetone or even soap and water with a rag to wipe off epoxy that may be smudged on the plate. You can paint over fiber fusion once it is cleaned and epoxy has dried. You can use our plate epoxy to fill gaps and cracks. All deteriorated concrete should be removed and replaced with our plate epoxy, supplying an adequate bond. The fiber fusion system is best when installed with the eliminator bracket, however it is optional. You can install the eliminator bracket in several different positions to get the best fit. The metal bar goes behind the main bracket and clamps the fiber fusion carbon fiber. The bottom bracket is placed with fiber fusion behind it. Place the bracket over the fiber fusion. Clamp the fiber fusion to the bracket by positioning the metal bar behind the bracket using the clamp nuts and bolts. Drill out the front holes using a 3/4-inch drill bit. You can install the eliminator using the bolts and holes on the side and top of the bracket. However, if you do not, it is best practice to use the 3 remaining holes in the front. Next, install the lag bolts using a socket wrench or an electric high-torque impact wrench. Now for the bottom bracket. Set the bottom bracket in place with the fiber fusion placed behind the bracket. Next, drill out 2 holes into the concrete using a 7/16-inch drill bit. Vacuum out dust and debris with a shop vac. Install the 2 lag bolts into the bottom bracket with a socket wrench. Now that the eliminator bracket is installed, you can clean up the plate and bracket. Scrape off any excess epoxy on the sides of the plate. Use a solvent such as acetone or even soap and water with a rag to wipe off epoxy that may be smudged on the plate or bracket. And that is the installation of the eliminator bracket and the fiber fusion plate system.